I know you've been doing for years, having things in your head, and to a certain extent, it's been working for you. But now, something must change if you really want to get the results that you truly, truly desire.
To some, boundaries are just placing limits. To me, it's where the limitless things begin.
Hello, 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 and thank you for tuning into the Boundaries and More podcast with Jess Abraham. I am your host, Jess Abraham, and today's episode is brought to you by Joyful Styles. Joyful Styles is a lifestyle brand that provides premium quality apparel that promotes joy and positivity. Joyful Styles believes how we approach a situation matters, and choosing to be joyful makes all the difference. You have the power, and it's time to embrace it. So, get your Joyful Styles apparel at joyfulstyles.com. That's JOYFULSTYLEZ.com. Let's go, let's go. Again, don't forget to check out those show notes and take that boundaries quiz. Curious to know what your boundaries level is? I am. Go ahead and take that boundaries quiz. See if your assessment of where you believe you are is correct or maybe slightly off. Let's just see. But click the link in the show notes to take the boundaries quiz. Let's go, let's go. Of course, as usual, I am super excited to be here with this episode today, right? And today we're going to be talking about something must change. The title of the episode is Something Must Change. Something must change. I know. It's very cliche, and most of you listening to this may have heard this quote or saying before. But if nothing changes, nothing changes. All right. Also, another one you may have heard before, right? The definition of insanity: doing the same things, expecting a different result. Look, we're going to start there because I know, again, many of you listeners may have heard those things before. Maybe you haven't, and it might be brand new to you, but it is so true. These are things that I believe to my core, right? So again, I'm bringing it here to you all, just give you some things to absolutely think about, to help others with, and just really to truly make a difference. So I'm gonna get into an example like of what this could look like and what it's looking like. So me, for some time, I've been on this releasing weight journey, right? So there's been times that I've ate some junk, like, hey, I love me a good cheesecake. I love, different things like that. Sometimes, I had a birthday recently. I had me it was a small little cake, but it was cake, real cake, none of that other stuff, right? So, but with my releasing weight goals, those things aren't necessarily beneficial to my overall health, right? So, yes, I have those things on occasion, but that's not something I could have continued eating on a regular and expect to reach all my goals. It doesn't work like that. Like, some of us may have bamboozled when we were younger. Maybe you ate all that you wanted, still had a nice physique, or still was in shape, whatever. Look, our body's not necessarily the exact same as it was then, right? There's things that you can do, healthy ways you can eat and be to help your body rejuvenate itself and be a certain way, getting all that junk out of your system. But again, something must change in order for that to happen. Can't keep doing the same things over and over and over, and like the things that aren't helpful for you, and expecting to get this magical thing to happen. Like, it does not work that way. Things won't magically change just because you want them to when you're not actively doing something different to get a different result. I want you all to really put that in your mind, put that in your head, have that there. And again, help someone else with this concept. Because for you, maybe you're listening to this and you got this down pat. You agree 100%. Let's go. Let's go. But it's on us, right? To help others do this stuff. And making sure that we're surrounding ourselves with people that know this stuff, right? So maybe you can just look at and okay, let me slow down, right? My thoughts are going a lot faster than I'm talking. So let me say this, or the other way around. But when you are in certain environments, right, you can tell, like most of the time, maybe not off rip, but hanging out with the same people doing the same type of stuff, you can tell if something's changing or not, right? For this, it's good for you. It will be beneficial to you, I should say, if you evaluate it using these metrics to evaluate what's going on around you with the people around you. If are they changing? Are they not? Is there something that you can do differently so that you're surrounding yourself with better quality people? You know, the terms I can put it, right? Because people, the 5 people that you're hanging around, they're not necessarily with you on the same frequency as you these days. Then maybe you need another 5 to hang around, because eventually they may bring you back down, or you're just gonna be really truly miserable in that circle. So make sure that you're evaluating that and making things change, right? Something must change if you want anything to change. Now, if you're good where you at, and then just this doesn't apply to you, you can just send it to somebody else, cut it off if you like. But again, something must change, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. All right. Okay. So, another thing that I really want for you all to grasp with this concept is, here we are, right? We're talking about boundaries and more, right? So something must change, right? So not doing things that are required to put boundaries in place, but you expect things to somehow magically be the way that you desire them to be. Now, I'm telling you, it's not the best course of action. It's not a real strategy. I know you're hoping and wishing and praying, but it requires you to actually take action, to actually do something different. Maybe things that you were accepting before, now is the time to not accept those things anymore. Something must change, right? You absolutely must put things in place so that, yeah, if you want to see your life flourish, then it's important for you to do that for your life can flourish. I'll just say it in those terms and kind of leave it at that. Now, I just actually thought about something, but give me a second here. I have actions going on. So, okay. Yep. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's important. So I don't want any these interruptions having here, right? Something must change. I'll just use that as an example. When there's things now when I'm working on my businesses, or I'm recording a podcast like I'm doing right now. Typically what I do, I put my phone in focus mode. I have a podcast in focus mode. I have a working focus mode, just different focus. Even when I'm working out now, I have the focus thing on, because I don't want all the notifications and certain things coming to me, or the phone ringing and all that kind of stuff, right? So for me to make sure I got that peace and quiet, or really that focus, productive time, something had to change, right? I needed to change the way I was going about it. Like I learned about, focus a while back and been using it ever since. And I slightly forgot to put my podcast focus on, and so I made sure I took care of that. And that's what we're doing now. The podcast focus is on, or is it? But listen, so in the vein of talking about my businesses uh there there was something like that when I started my coaching business. I wasn't really clear on what it is that I was doing. I know for sure I was helping people. That was definitely clear to me. But how I was helping them, what exactly I was helping them with, that that wasn't necessarily clear to me. And for a while, it took me, in my mind, too long to figure it out. But everything takes its time. I'm running my own race, trusting the process. But it took me some time to actually figure out that, you know what? I must start making sure I'm focusing on a specific thing and area. So I must figure out what is that, right? I had to do some reevaluating, literally writing things down, what it looked like that I was doing and helping people with exactly, right? So I needed to do all that to revamp my coaching business. I needed to become more clear so that all my messages are really catered and focused to the people that I'm truly called to help, right? It all started with me shifting my content, right? I started focusing strictly on the boundaries aspect. Like I still help people with different things, but my primary focus and how I really truly help people that I noticed was boundaries and more, right? Pretty much all things boundaries. And what I started doing again, I switched up my content, putting things more about just strictly boundaries, and people really started to gravitate and resonate with certain things. The engagements, the views, all these different things just started changing when I got more focused and clear, right? Even me revamping, I'm still truthfully in the process of revamping my coaching business, but I knew something needed to change, right? For me to get the results that I'm looking to get, right? I want to make that impact and help the people that I'm called to help, but I was getting lost in the sauce because I wasn't doing what I needed to do to truly stand out in a way, right? I'm running my own race. I'm not thinking about this person, that, what this person doing, that person doing, none of that stuff. But for me, it was important that I had a focus. So it pretty much streamlined things to help things be a lot better. Again, still in the process of revamping some of that stuff, but as I'm going on, I'm just implementing this clarity that I now have more and more into all that I do. Again, it's a process, and I promise y'all, sometimes I feel it's not moving as fast as I would like it to move in certain areas, but I made sure that I keep telling myself it's a look, trust the process, run your own race in due time, in due season, all of it will work out. I truly believe that. I'm sticking to it. So, but that's what it is. Something needed to change. And again, my title of the episode, something must change. And when that change happened, the shift, man, everything. Look, people know me now as the boundaries coach, okay? They do. And they tell their friends and they tell these people. But before, what could they have said? Right? Like I didn't help them in a way to really show my focus and stand out in my own way. That was super important. Also, like just in general, I needed more clarity in all of my goals. Right. So, what I started to really take time to focus on what it is that I really want, desire, and all of these different things to make sure I got that clarity, because the way I was operating wasn't necessarily conducive to where I know I'm going, right? And truthfully, part of this, I think, I'm pretty confident it came from, like, once I just separated from the military, I was super in charge of my schedule, like nothing like it. All I dreamed of, and just living it up, having an amazing time, an amazing life, right? But with that, what happened is that I kind of like was in and out of my routine, right? Finding my rhythm. I'm still, again, finding my own rhythm, and still doing what's good for me and the way it's necessary for me to operate. But I know I was thinking about this stuff, but I needed to put it down and put it out a certain way. So recently, what I did, and I put it out there into this mastermind group I'm in. We was on a call one day, and I was like, you know what, y'all, I'm starting a 30-day calendar challenge, right? So again, in my mind, I knew I needed to get a little more structure in my life, right? But I was kind of reluctant because I was just loving it, being super in charge of my schedule. Right now, I'm still super in charge of my schedule. I just make sure I'm putting the things on a calendar and putting time blocks and spaces for things and people and all these different things to show, like, okay, this is a little more structure, not in my head all over the place, right? And well, I want to say this to you all: we must write things out. Get it out of your head to clear that mental space, right? Having everything in your head, it creates this mental fog that we don't need unnecessarily, right? If you just write things out, get it out of your head. If you want to just write it on a notebook or a piece of paper, or take notes like I love to do in my phone, all of those different ways you can just write things out, get it out of your head, because that's probably a reason that some of you may not have the clarity that you need to move forward in your life right now. Yeah, that just kind of like dropped in my spirit, so I'm gonna slow down and go back to that. Part of the reason some of you who feel that you don't have clarity right now is because you got all these things in your head, keeping it in your head instead of writing it out, when you really need to clear that mental space. Something must change, y'all. I know you've been doing for years, having things in your head, and to a certain extent, it's been working for you. But now, something must change if you really want to get the results that you truly, truly desire. I know I'm not the only one that needed to do that. My personality naturally, look, I just love to, like, I love to be free and spontaneous, but not in everything, but in lots of things. And even now, I say, like, I have this like flex schedule. Yes, I put all things in my calendar, but sometimes things come up and I move things around. I make sure I get all of my things done, but sometimes I just need to move around and switch the times and things of that sort. Put things down, write things out, get it out of your head, clear that mental space. So, so important, y'all. Like, really, these are the things that I just wanted to touch on. Like, nothing too crazy today. I think the message is clear. If it's not, let me know, right? We can go deeper into some of these things, but something must change. Something must change. If you are living in a way right now that is not necessarily the way that you truly desire to live, something must change. I promise you. I promise you. I know. God is so good. God is so good, and only God can do the things that God can do. But you know what? God is likely waiting on you to do something so that you can get your blessing, right? Remember, talked about in the previous episode, one of the quotes that I love: God is waiting on you, or you must give God something to bless, right? So something must change. Let's do something differently today to work towards what we truly desire in life. Let all of our actions line up with the things that we really truly desire. The things we say we want, the things we say we don't want, all of that stuff. Let our actions right now change whatever needs to be changed so that we can move in that direction and make all of our wildest dreams come true. It's man, yeah, I can go into that like yeah, y'all. I telling you, it's this for sure. Some of these things, like, look, I am currently in it, in it, and that's probably, I'm pretty sure that's probably why it was on my heart to talk about today and just make an episode out of. Again, I can go deeper into some of this stuff if you would like to do that. Let me know. But be sure, while you at it, to follow us on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Again, that's on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Also, y'all, make sure you click those show notes and take that boundaries quiz. Again, something must change. You may not know where you at right now. You may not. And you may think you know where you are, but hey, this is one way to be sure, right? Take that boundaries quiz and see what your results are. Let's go from there. All right, let's see. I am curious to see what some of you are listening to these episodes, what that looks like for you. I am. Truth be told, I am. There is no shying away from that. I am definitely excited to see what you are up to and what things look like for you currently, and to know how this stuff is helping you. And if it is helping you, I haven't said this in this way in a while, but if these episodes have been blessing you, or this episode, if you're new here, hey, but thank you for being here, all of you. And also, like, just again, if it's blessing you, helping you, share it with other people. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Drop me a message there. Send me a message. Let me know how it's been blessing you, or you want to do a review on Apple or Google or Spotify or Audible. All these different places. iHeartRadio is everywhere, right? Wherever you want to do those reviews and things hey, you can do it there too. Preferably, so I would prefer you sending me that that DM there, or sending me a message there on Instagram, or leaving an Apple podcast review. Those are really my preferred methods. But again, reach out to me, and we can go from there. If there's something that you want me to discuss or go into, or go deeper in any of these topics, again, let me know. I do this for you all, and I want to be here giving you all the content that's on my heart, been dropped in my spirit, and the things that you all want to know more about. If it makes sense, then we can make it happen. So that's all I got for you all today. Please be sure to go out and have an amazingly beautiful day. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram again at Boundaries and More Podcast. All right. Talk to y'all next week.